Hello, ladies. How are you? All right, the girls just got put up for the evening. I put in some scratch, and I also threw in some leftover eggshells and some leftover hot dog buns, but they've just about already cleared out the hot dog buns. They love bread. Okay, so there's no way to get them on there. All right, so I just thought I'd do a really pretty quick little tour of the garden. Danny and I have finished getting the mulch off of the back of the trailer. We haven't got it all spread, but we've got it off of the back of the trailer, and I've been spreading it around. I've been going around all of the vegetables with the mulch, and my broccoli is starting to come up, and my cabbage is starting to form little balls down there at the bottom, so they're doing good. Hardly no bug damage at all, which I'm loving that. That's fantastic. And I've started weeding out between the corn, and we have, see where the sun does not really hit straight on these, they are leaning to the left a little bit, and these larger stalks, I just grabbed these tomato cages really quick today and stuck them beside them just to see if it would help them hold up a little bit. And then I've been weeding. I started at this end, and I'm weeding in between all of the ears of corn and the green peas, and then I'm going to be putting the mulch around those too. And I have to use my little purple knee rest, because if I don't, I cannot hardly stand it. And I have mulched in some of the squash, some of the green peppers, and the jalapeno peppers, and we're already starting to get small jalapeno peppers on the ones here in this part of the garden. And my petunias are doing well, and they are getting bigger in my little concrete blocks here. And here is my strawberries. Okay, my strawberries, and they are in one of these grow trees from the Dollar Tree. And I just dug the strawberries out of my bed, my big bed, and I brought some weeds with them, I see. But it's not too hard to weed these small areas. The only thing is, I don't know what this is. That doesn't look like my regular strawberries. I think I've got something. No, this is a weed, but I'm not for sure that's not a strawberry, I don't think. I'm going to let it grow for a little bit longer and see, but I don't think that's a strawberry. But anyway, it's going well. It's fine and dandy. My nasturtiums are looking great. My dill looks good. I have some parsley. I'm going to be drying some more of that. The onions, we're still getting onions from this. And all of the tops, I cut up and save those. Like, I kind of use them like chives on top of our tacos and different things like that. So we have the two tomatoes, or what are they called? Cherry tomatoes in our pots. And we have a yellow and a red, and these are our raised beds, and these are all full with mushroom soil. And I've already got tomatoes all over here. You can see my little orange marigolds down there. I put those in to help with bug control, and I think they're doing really well. There are 6 tomatoes in here with sticks, but I am just letting them kind of lean on themselves and see what happens with that. But now my green peppers, they're already starting to get little green peppers on them. So tomorrow I'm going to come in here with my string, and I'm going to start tying them to the post just to give them the extra strength, because the peppers will be heavy and they will make them fall over. And then I have the sweet peas still coming up the sides of the trellis. And I also planted some cantaloupe in here, and they are really doing well too. So right along here, see right in there, not a lot of room, but everything looks fantastic, and they're still growing. And I'm still watering some. I water at least once a week if it doesn't rain, sometimes twice if it doesn't rain, which we haven't been getting much rain at all. So most of the rain is coming, or water is coming from me. But they're doing well. I was afraid that they wouldn't, but so far so good. And I just love the look of these peas. Now the peas are a lot smaller over here. They're not getting as much sun, or they may just be down in there more because these squash went crazy in this bed. So these squash are just some that I planted, and versus the ones over there that I bought. Okay, I put this in the ground about the time that I put the seeds in the ground over here, and it blows my mind at the size of these plants compared to those, the difference in the dirt. So that's why we are doing more amending. We are putting some of the mulch in there. I'm going to put in more of the mushroom soil in there next year and amend with more mushroom soil until that whole bed is like one big giant raised bed. That is my plan. My nasturtiums and my basil look fantastic. These are also growing in mushroom soil in these pots. Just look at these. Aren't they gorgeous? Okay, and then we have the cucumbers, which are right in here with the squash, and they are growing. And I just come in here and I weave them in and out of the cattle panels on both sides, and they're looking good. And I've got a lot of little flowers along the bottom down there. So I'm hoping to have cucumbers soon. I don't know if you can see all in there, but they are growing. And then more nasturtiums over here. The lettuce bed is doing fantastic. Let me pick up this rake before I cut my foot off. The carrots are doing well. I just recently dug up the last of my radishes, and I planted in pumpkins because I'm hoping that I will get some pumpkins this fall. And these are the white pumpkins, and I just love those. I think they're so pretty. But planted pumpkins in other areas, and then this area right here we just redug again and put in more spinach. This is the third time I have planted spinach, and it's just nothing's coming up, just nothing. So Danny took the tiller back in there again this time and put in some of the mulch and more of the amendments, just some fertilizer and some plant tone, and I'm going to try it again. Garlic is fantastic. Probably hoping to go ahead and harvest that sometime next week. In the middle of June is my plan. And then we had some I'm not for sure if these are sunflowers or if these are zinnias. I'm thinking some of both maybe, and they just came up on their own, and I'm just going to let them grow. I actually transplanted them. They were just out in the middle of the field there, out of the middle of the bed, and I dug them up and transplanted them when we first started on the garden, and they're just here and there. There's another little one right there. And then these, I told you what happened with my okra. I planted it in the wrong spot actually, so what I have been doing here, I started at this end, and I have been coming back in and trying to get out as many. I've got to go through this some more, trying to just pull the weeds as I go and filling it up with the mulch, because I wasn't actually supposed to plant along here. I was supposed to plant in the middle there. So this isn't really a tilled area. This is just pretty much the ground. So the green beans look fantastic. They are really climbing. Every day I come out and they are a little bit taller. I'm ready to start seeing some flowers though, because I love fresh green beans. And I sat in my little chair today and I just moved it around the garden area, and I just watered everything today because, like I said, we're just not hardly getting any rain. But here are some more of the grow stalks from the Dollar Tree. And I put in all kinds of different flowers, and they are doing so well. I love having the herbs and the flowers in the garden. That's why I like to call it my little potager garden. It is just another it's another French word for garden, and it's also supposed to be like a kitchen garden, even though I'm very far away from the house. Still, I have to come down here every day anyway, so it's all good. And I am still pinching these back. I am trimming these back, trying to keep some of these little elbows out and making these a little bit straighter. And I've got to come in and I'm going to start putting some more string closer to the top, because they are getting taller than the strings that I have on. And I'm just pulling the mulch, and I'm not finished. I'm just putting the mulch up against the green beans, and I'm also just throwing down not my weeds, but my stems and my leaves from my extra vegetables, and I'm just throwing them into the garden, and I'm just kind of letting those disintegrate into the ground. And see, here is another one. I think that's a zinnia that's coming up. And so this is all looking well. I just come down here and work on it a little bit every day. It's never going to be finished. That's fine. But the weeds are doing great, staying out, and I've already got tomatoes. Look here at this one. I've already got tomatoes on almost every one of them, and we're hoping to make some salsa this year, some more salsa. We love fresh salsa. And then in this area, I hope I haven't covered them all up, but I have been pulling the mulch up around, and from here to here, I have cantaloupe. And I'm hoping to be able to weave them throughout this little fencing, and then I'll just let them spread over in this area. See, all that mulch has to be laid down. We have the pile here, and I'll be pulling it over onto the cantaloupe, not on top of, but close to. And we have watermelon here, the little sugar babies along this. And then I've got 2 more spots planted with a few pumpkins right under this and right under that one. And I just kind of put that there so that I could remember where it was. And, but yeah, and I have some more red petunias over there. And everything is going well. Very soft mulch. And we did get this mulch free. This is some of the free mulch that they give away here in our city. I don't know if every place has that or not, but you need to check into that because, you know, I'm all in for free. Cheap is good, free is better. That's what I say about everything. And here we have some more onion slips that Danny just put out recently because these will be coming to an end soon. As you see, the weeds are taking over, but so far the onions are fine with that. And yeah, everything's looking good. I'm really excited. I come down here every day. This is just, me and the grandkids spent most of the morning down here this morning playing with the chickens and our dog, and they love to get up and under the kids' playhouse. The chickens do, and they take little dirt baths under that, and the tree keeps them shaded, keeps me shaded, and then the sun comes out later in the afternoon, and it doesn't seem to be hurting anything. This area gets more sun, obviously, and it's in the mushroom soil. So if you're wondering about the mushroom soil, let this show you, okay? This is mushroom soil. This is not mushroom soil. But the green beans and the tomatoes over there are doing fantastic. So there you go. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm loving it. I love being down here. Let's see if I can get back here and show you the whole thing here. It makes me so very happy. I love every inch of it. I love working in it. And I'm really proud of myself this year. And I'm so thankful that Danny has helped me so much with the mulch and the tilling this year too, because he can really get that done a lot faster than what I ever could. But anyway, this is it. This is how it's going. I got to get my little net back over. I still haven't decided what to plant in there. I keep saying I'm going to plant something in there. I think I'm going to do more radishes. I love radishes. And I just like to see that little net over top of it. It just adds something to the garden. But anyway, guys, all right, this is it. This is my update for, let's see, it's Tuesday evening. The sun is starting to go down, and this is how it's looking. And I'm really excited. Let me go ahead and flip this while I'm here. Well, I've got you already. Let me just take you for a trip down the blackberry lane here. All right, Danny put these in a few years ago. Not very long. I think this is the 2nd or the 3rd year on these canes. Now, these canes actually came from my parents' house, and these canes originally are probably close to 30 or 40 years old, and we just keep thinning them out, moving them. Daddy had them up on the farm, and then he moved them downtown when he moved downtown, and then we brought some over here with us. And look at all these. Look at all the canes and so many new ones. And we just take out the older ones and keep letting the babies grow. And we are absolutely covered with flowers. And then these on this side, and we're already having a lot of these. See, these are going to be berries very, very soon. And then the flowers, these came on later. We didn't think we were going to have very many berries this year because the flowers came on. There weren't that many. And then kaboom, it just started flowering again. And it's amazing at all the berries we're going to get. And I think this would be so pretty to walk through for a wedding if they were trained up over it. I would love to put some cow panels up over this and make a little walk through here. But anyway, so these are a couple years old, and then he took canes or babies from this one and started this. And this is just, this isn't even, maybe last year he started this one. I'm not for sure on that. I'll have to ask him for sure. But look at this, guys. And these are just all babies from those. And a friend of his gave him those. And he just keeps making more. So, and they're absolutely full this year already with berries coming on. And then we have grapes on this side. And the grapes started out with some sort of fungus, and we don't know exactly what was going on. Look like that. Strange looking, but I think he has gotten that under control. The new leaves are doing really well, and trying to keep down on the weeds. We put in cow manure this year and just put it under all the beds, and we need to go through here and take out more of the weeds, as you can see, and put down maybe some mulch there to help with that weeding. But he does a pretty good job of keeping it out, and he loves to keep these trained. So anyway, I'm pretty excited about these. Now our raspberries, we might as well just go ahead and take a whole walk. So here we have the fruit trees, and we put these out. I think this is the 3rd year, so next year we will hope to be seeing some fruit. And we have plums and pears and apples, and way up there we did get cherries on our 2 cherry trees. Not a lot this year, but I had a cherry cobbler, and then I'm thinking I'm going to make a cherry pie tomorrow because he's been wanting a cherry pie. And that's all the cherries for this year. But for our pretty much first year of getting any, they're about 3 years old, I think. That's really pretty good. I'm pretty excited about that. And then we have our raspberry bushes up here, and the ones on the left started dying on us. We don't know exactly what happened, but they are recovering, and he has been taking out a lot of the dead canes as the new ones come up. But the ones on the right seem to be doing really well. So I think they're going to be okay. I don't think we're going to lose them. May not get as many raspberries as normal this year, but I can see some. You can't see them probably, but I can see the red. So we definitely... it's a steep hill that I have to climb, y'all. But those are my raspberries. And then this is a bed of strawberries here. And I think it's about 16 foot long, I think is what he said. But this is our probably 3rd year on the strawberries. And this year we dug a lot of these up, and because they were really getting overgrown, and we put in cow manure, and then we put them back in, and so we thinned it out some so they can spread more. And then the ones that jump out of the bed, then I take them down there and put them in the grow tree. But anyway, that's it. Here's the kids' swing set and my backyard flower gardens, which you can't hardly see, but I started putting all this in last year. Now I had some of the I had the crepe myrtle, and the hostas were here from our previous owners, and then I made the bed bigger going around the back and over to the side, just adding more hostas. I love hostas. There were 2 big huge trees here on either side of the deck, and it was really shady back here when I put in the hostas. And then we had the trees cut down because we were afraid they might fall on the house if there was ever a storm, plus all of the sap and everything from the trees. It was just horrible. But now I have not so much shade, but they're doing okay. Last year they took it pretty hard when I put them in, the hostas and all of the shade flowers, shade bushes, shrubs, whatever. But this year I think they have gotten a little more accustomed to the sun, and they're doing really well. And these are monsters, and I've even divided these a little bit. So next year in spring, I'm going to be dividing all of these irises. They're all purple and they're on both sides. And I'm going to be dividing all of the hostas. And I have started a woodland garden on the other side of the house. And I'm going to be transplanting a lot of them into there. And because they love it in the shade. I don't know how they could get any bigger or love it anymore. But I do love hostas. One of my favorites. Okay. So let me go ahead and show you the front. While we're doing this, might as well, right? Might as well. Okay, so we're going to go to the front bed and this area here, and we are getting more of the mulch, hopefully tomorrow. And I'm going to be mulching the back that I just showed you again. And then this bed, I just started last year, okay? Last year was my first year on this, and all I did, believe it or not, was put down cardboard, okay? I just put down cardboard, and then I covered it with mulch, and then I just dug my holes, and I planted. And that was it. Now, this year, the cardboard is pretty much gone, and there's not hardly any weeds in it at all, which is amazing. And I do come out and I weed as I see them. So, you know, it's not that we just let it go. I do come out here and I weed a lot, and I'll just keep adding more plants when I find something. We call it death row over at Lowe's. And I want to get it nice and full and plush and just filled with flowers so we don't have to worry about weeds. But I am going to put more of all of that mulch in here. And it's hard to believe, I didn't till this. I didn't take the soil off the top. I just laid down cardboard and threw over mulch. And if you can see, it's not really thick mulch either. I dug this daily and divided it, so next year it'll be pretty, but this year it looks awful. But anyway, it wasn't a real thick layer of mulch either. And I just started digging into the cardboard under the mulch and planting. And these are more echinacea. I love my echinacea or purple coneflower. Most of mine are different colors. I have all different colors of these. And this here in the middle right here, this is a crepe myrtle, along with the really big tall thing you see right over there. That's a crepe myrtle. But this I hope gets big enough and covers and gives it more shade so that I can put some more hostas in here. I'm looking for shade here. And this is just a metal plant hanger that was left behind also, and we've moved it 2 or 3 times, and I think this is going to be its perfect final spot. And look at this echinacea. This is actually a double. It will be coming out more and more every day, but this thing is huge, and it has like double rows. Like, it will get more on here, and I cannot think of the name of it. I just put that in last year too. It just amazes me at how much they can grow in 1 year. This butterfly was on death row. I have bee balm in here that I have moved around. I kind of divide this out every year with the bee balm. And this came from the dead zone, and it already flowered. I'm going to cut that back and see if I can get any more flowers. This is something, I forgot what it's called. Most of them I have forgot the name of it. This is lamb's ears, and it's spreading out. And this little yellow flower right here, with this is also a primrose, and I have a lot of the pink evening primrose, and it just kind of goes everywhere and spreads. I don't know if this is going to be spreadable like that, but it has gotten bigger, and I love that little delicate flowers in there. Excuse me. And a lot of these I did get on death row over at Lowe's, so don't think just because something's out there and it looks horrible, most of it you can bring back. Take it home, love it, and it'll come back. And my lilac bush is blooming. I have 4 lilac bushes. And I'm just going to pan up there. You can't see it from here, but right back there is what I told you guys I've started on my woodland garden. And I have a lot of flowers up there. The lights are coming on, but you just cannot see them from here. But I love that area up there. It's just, this year I don't know how much I'm going to get to work on it. I'm going to focus more on getting all of this down here taken care of this year in my garden. And then next year I'll focus more on that and get that back into shape. But my lilac bush smells so good. And I thought I'd lost it last year. It got a terrible fungus on it. And I mean, I cut it down. I cut it way down. But then this year, it's already come back. And I'm smelling the lilacs coming off of it. And then I have the blue salvia here, which needs to be cut back. Because let me tell you something about blue salvia. Okay, or any colors, different colors. See how it's spreading in the middle here? Okay, these are all dead, okay? These are also very heavy. I need to go through here, and I need to cut all of these off. And that is going to help the flower bounce back up into its regular mounding shape. Plus, it will make room for new shoots to come on. So, the salvia, or mine at least, doesn't just bloom in the spring. It is a beautiful show in the spring, but you can get more life out of it. And if you keep it trimmed back, like I should have already gotten to this, but I haven't yet, it won't open as bad. So this is something I'm going to be working on this week, is coming in here and getting this cut back so that it doesn't completely spread. And this one just started blooming. It's a lot slower, and then I have a slower one here, and they were all planted at the same time. And a lot of my roses, we just mulched all of this, and I have cardboard under here also. And I'm wanting to put in more hostas as I go along here. I put in a clematis, and I'm going to put a big, some sort of, what do I want to call it? It's not an arch, but I want to put something that can grow up back there. I put in 2 clematis this year, and a couple more roses. So I eventually want all of this to be filled in the way this is filled in. And some of these are spring blooming flowers. I have storm cloud back there, I think, and it has beautiful little blue flowers, but the foliage is still nice afterwards. I have an astilbe back here, which did have some long plumes on it, and I just cut those off this morning. Here's my peony that was absolutely gorgeous this year, but I love the dark foliage. This color isn't showing. It's showing as a funny color because the sun is going down, but it's got a beautiful dark emerald green foliage. So I like the foliage too. I love the flowers, but I love the foliage. And then this is Stella. This is a daylily, and it has tons of blooms. And once again, this all needs to be pinched back because they're not coming back. You get a day out of this is all you're going to get. And it just looks really messy, not cut back. So I really need to go in here and cut this back. And here are the ones that I told you that I divided. So it was one plant, and I divided it into these two and the one over in the other area. Now next year, this will be big and beautiful and just as full as these. So this area right here will be full next year. And I'm hoping these hostas that I put in, one here, that one is guacamole, and this one is called Christmas tree. And they do not like the sun, but by next year, I'm hoping, if it goes by the way the rest of them have gone, it will be more adapted to the sun. And then when these roses are bigger, it will give them more shade. And hopefully they will be bigger and they will fill in this area and the sun won't affect them as much. And then we have our Japanese maple here in a pot, a beautiful clay pot. And then back there I have a flower that will be blooming soon, and I knew the name of it until I started to tell you. I just planted this year, but I also have another one of those right over there, and I love it. It has these long stems covered in flowers. And here are just some petunias. I think this is, I don't even want to tell you the names of everything because I can't remember. But this is not the same as the other blue flower that I showed you. And I love blue. And look how these petunias turned out. They are almost a red, white, and blue color. And I did not plan that on purpose, but I love that. And then all of these are, I call these my little dancing flowers, my little dancing ballerinas. And they are evening primrose. But they put on a huge show up front, but they are all dying back. So this year I'm going to go through, and I've already been pinching off some, and I'm going to cut these way back, and I am actually going to take some of these out. They are super easy to take out, but they just take over everything. And see, I have the red bee balm in here, which is fixing to bloom at any time, but let me just show you how easy that is to, I mean, that's it. It just pulls right out. But it's self-seeding, and it just keeps making more and more and more. And it will get away from you, which it did in here. But since this is a country garden, I'm fine with that. But here are some more of my echinaceas. This is sort of a moss color. We have a cream. I can't even remember what color this one is. I'm excited for it to bloom. And then I have a lot of the phlox here, which I just took a big hunk out of the middle of the phlox to put in this bird bath. This would belong to my aunt, and I got this from her. And I put in one of these solar water fountains, and during the day I have to fill it up every day. Now I do, because it is so hot and it's not raining, and I have to fill it up every day, but the water shoots out of it. And I love the idea of these things because I had one in another fountain last year, and it would just always fly to the side. The water would go out and it wouldn't last no time. Now it's not because of that anymore. It's now just where it is just you know, the sun is just heating it up and making it go away. But now this will all fill back in next year. It'll be fine. You won't notice it. I have a lot of creeping Jenny in down here with this purple phlox, and this whole area will be completely full again next year. And more of the echinacea. One of my friends just came by. And then here I have a purple bee balm. I love it. And then another. This echinacea is, there's one that's already bloomed, and it's kind of a tropical looking, but you can't see it down there, I don't think. But they'll be blooming anytime now. And then this one is gorgeous too. It's an orangey, it's sort of a tropical looking color too. I'm terrible with names of stuff. I know what it is, but I can't tell you what species I'm not species, but which variety it is or whatever. But anyway, here's more of this, and I cannot remember the name, but I love this plant. And like I said, it has long stalks of purple flowers. And here is just an example of the hostas. Now, I put these in last year, and they were small. I transplanted them from another area in my garden. And this year, the sun isn't bothering them. Last year, it ate them up alive. But I have left, I don't know what this is. If you guys can tell me what this weed is, I don't know what it is. But it looks like a mum when it first starts coming up. But I pull it out every year, and I have fought with this for years. So this year, I decided just to leave it alone, and we're going to call it a ground cover, and it has shaded the roots to the hostas, and I think it has helped them so much. I don't know if that's what did it, but in my mind, that's what's done it. And these hostas are not really getting beaten at all by the sun. And I'm sure it will as time goes on, because it's just the first week in June. So I know that the sun will end up eating them up, but as of right now, they look great. And we had an ugly bush over there, and my husband took the truck and pulled it out with a chain. And I put in another clematis, which you cannot see, but another big fan-shaped climbing thing, and 2 more roses over there on each side of the driftwood, and some more of the daylilies, the Stella daylilies. But anyway, this is how it's looking. It's always a mess. I can't ever do a video of everything perfect, because it's always in progress. So I don't know how people do these videos where everything looks so perfect. It's like, did they bring a crew in the night before? I don't know, because everything that I cut out today and deadheaded today, I just throw on the ground. So anyway, but I love my yard, and it keeps me happy. It keeps me busy. And I don't know, I just love it. I just love it. So you guys, if you're a gardener, if you grow anything, I would love to see what you grow. I would love some tips on growing anything that you think is a good idea to do that I'm not doing. I would love all of the tips that you guys want to send. And anyway, it's getting dark. My kitty's in the window. You can't see her hardly, but she's looking at me, wonder what I'm doing outside. So I'm going to hop off here. The lights are starting to come on. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening. And I'm sure we will see you again in the garden in a few days. And join us for some stuff we do inside too, because that's always more of our focus. And the couponing. Don't forget the couponing, because I love a deal. All right, you guys have a great evening. We'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.